Hi everybody, Carl Emberson back here from Punta Mita. Nice to be back on checking in with Carl Emberson at Punta Mita. Today I have a very dear friend of mine, Hans Backhoff, the CEO of Monte Wineries. We're going to have a little virtual tasting with Hans today. We're going to talk about this great wine that we selected with Hans in Valle de Guadalupe. And just before we go, we're going to just share a video with you so you can have a look at a little bit about the winery and the video. And the video will tell us a little bit about that. Yes and no. There's some great photos of when we were up there with Sabine. And maybe we'll just go straight in video, Hans, because there's no video. So here we are. Hans is, I think he's going to be looking as good as he looks in this photo, I hope. Turn me around if you don't mind. There we go. Hey, Hans.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you. I hope you're well. How's things?
We're doing good. We're taking care of each other and having lots of wine. How about you guys?
That's the way. I wish I was having as much wine, but I only drink it on the weekends, but I play a lot of golf in Punta Mita.
That's good. We'll see
anyway, Hans, nice to have you with me, and we're doing it in English today. I know you studied in Cardiff and other areas, so it'd be nice for our American and foreign visitors or fans of Punta Mita to learn a little bit about Monte wines. And I was actually there last year with Sabine, my wife. You got any more photos there of that visit? We had a great day with you there. Look at that. There we are in Monte. And anyway, I've got a great selection that we did for our 20th anniversary, Hans. It's the 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot.
Yes, I remember. We had a lot of fun during that visit. We made the selection. We did a special wine blend for Punta Mita, and it was a lot of fun.
Sure was. Why don't we? I'm going to open one now, and have a glass here, and maybe you can just run me through the characteristics of this Cabernet Sauvignon. Maybe tell us a little bit about Monte Winery, which is beautiful, one of the pioneers in Mexican wines, a lot of prizes, a lot of great things. So I'll hand it over to you, Hans.
Great, of course. Well, Monte was born in 1987. We started with the Mexican premium wine revolution. Our winery was betting on the consumer and was betting on to produce better wines in Mexico. Fortunately, that project has been growing quite a bit, and now we are more than 300 wineries now in the region. At that time, I think in '87, we were about 10 wineries in total. Now we're more than 300. And
wow.
All of us, big guys, medium and small ones, are now involved in producing premium wines, the market that Monte started a long time ago.
Fantastic. Have you got your Cabernet Sauvignon there?
Yeah, let me pour a little bit here.
Good, man. That's the way. This is my first virtual tasting, by the way.
You know, these are...
And I can't think of a better guy to do it with than you.
So it is permitted.
I love the spirit. I love the spirit. So talk me through this a little bit.
Okay, so what we have here is basically a cab blend. We use mainly Cabernet Sauvignon as a main variety, and we have a little bit of Merlot in it, so more of a Bordeaux blend, sort of a blend. This we selected these two grapes because we've been very successful with this variety, especially here in the Guadalupe Valley. The proximity to the sea has been very helpful. It makes a microclimate and makes a semi-desertic place be more of a fresher place for our vineyards to grow. And our plants here have to some point shown us that we produce very high concentrated Cabernets and Merlots. Our main flexibility here is the climate. We have very nice sun during the summer, very cold winters, and that is exactly what you need in order to produce very good high-end varieties, especially in the cab. We have very rich, mature fruit with the cabs, and I think this is one of the best examples that we can say that best represent the terroir or where we are.
Lovely, fantastic. Cheers to that, Hans. I've had a lot of these in my winery, and I haven't seen you since you were down here for the Gourmet and Golf event, which thankfully you've been a great supporter over the years. And on the screen you can see, there you are. There you are. That's a younger version of Hans.
Wow.
Years ago. That must be about 2014. I think I was about 10 kilos heavier as well.
I think I have to take a picture of this.
Yeah, you look pretty cool, man. There we were. Well, yeah, this was a while back now, those photos. So thank you for, and I just wanted to share, I hadn't shared with you that since we've done this special selection for the 20th anniversary of Punta Mita, we have had a lot of members and residents here who every time they come back, they say, Carl, can you hold 3 cases or 4 cases? It has a lot of fans. So I think we did a good job, in selecting the wine and celebrating 20 years of Punta Mita. You've been here a number of times. Tell me about some of your favorite memories of Punta Mita.
So, Carl, when I thought to be in regards to the experience that we had during the Punta Mita Golf and Gourmet, I think that being part of this event since the very beginning has really, helped us understand, this first quality experience, not only in golf, but in all of the gastronomic part and the service, and wine is a big part of it. So for me, when I look back into this great experience that I've had along the years with this event, I knew that we had to really make a wine that had all these characteristics and really stand up to the challenge, to this quality that we were expecting. For me, I think the most terrible moments that I've had was, these ending dinners where you used to name all the persons that were involved in the event and that really poured their hearts out and all their talent towards these gastronomic plates and the wines and all the winemakers. I think that was a really important moment because it was just the moment that represented everybody who they were. And having all those people in the same place, all that passion and artistic way of expressing themselves, it was such a big moment for me to understand that we were all together in that, and it was just overwhelming to see how many talent in the same place.
Yeah, fantastic, Hans. I think that's a great summary of what that event is and what a special event it is. We've had many fun days on the golf course, or with some of I see one of our favorite chefs, Alfredo Villanueva, just checked in and is listening to us and says hello, and some other good friends that have hooked into this talk today. And it's a great event. I think Alfredo himself is coming this year. This will be the 10th anniversary of the event. It will be in December this year. I'm sure we'll have to do it a little bit different than what we've done in the past. maybe we make more exclusive events, smaller gatherings. We'll work on that, as I'm sure we'll have to change a lot of things about the way we do things. But I think at the end of the day, it's like you say, it's getting together people with the same passion for luxury, for the finer things of life that will, permits us to put our hearts together about things that we love doing, Hans. And that's what I found in Monteschini and your passion. Tell me, before I go a little bit more, tell me about your father. You obviously following his footsteps with the winery. Give us a little, I never met him. Tell me a little bit more about your father.
Well, he was a great visionary. He was my mentor, a person that knew how to change things. Now that I see all these challenges around us, you know, it reminds me a lot of him, because he always liked to challenge the status quo, no? And for me, that was always a big part of how to do things differently with a lot of creativity. For him and his partners to really bet on this experiment, on changing, you know, the habits of the Mexican consumer into accepting a premium wine, it was very, very hard to understand at the beginning, because that market didn't exist. So they basically, you know, invented it. But, you know, between them, they always used to laugh, and they used to say, you know, hey, what happens if we can't sell this wine, you know? And, you know, one of the partners lifted his hands and says, I know, we'll drink it all, you know? And that's an experiment. And, you know, it just shows you on that spirit that these guys had in the adventure, in just changing things. And I think that when you look back right now, and you look all of what has really happened during these 33 years ago, then you kind of understand that these sorts of changes in life have a big transcendency, you know, and we have all that potential there of doing things differently. And that's where we are, Carl, basically right now. We have a lot of changing things happening. I'm pretty sure you guys are already taking some things into account. We know that there's things that will change eventually, but there's other changes that are already here that won't go back to the way that they were. So we have to be really intelligent on how we go about. I think it's really smart on your behalf on what you're saying, that we're going to have to do a different event. We're going to have to do different ways of contacting our clients and giving service and having wine. So right now, you and me, we're having this conversation. Obviously, you are in Punta Mita, I'm in Ensenada, and to some point or another, we're here talking about it, sharing a glass of wine, and that sounded ridiculous, probably.
Yeah, I'll drink to that, and our capacity to change with the times. I think success, Hans, is going to be based on our ability and how quickly we can adapt to the changing in times. You've got to think out of the box. You've got to be doing stuff like this that we're doing today, and we got to be out there. We got to think differently and adapt. It's, you know, it's a quick moving game. So I think that's great. Great. While you get back to talking, I've got the other switching to a white wine now. I think you explained the Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm going to open that. It's the Sauvignon Blanc Vigna Cristal. We have a lot of good friends of ours that enjoy Sauvignon Blanc, like Santiago and Horacio and Alfie, good friends that we've had in common, and we've had many great days together with them, especially in Gourmet Golf. I remember the early Gourmet Golfs, we'd sit down in the Sea Breeze bar in the afternoon between lunch and dinner, and we wouldn't stop. It was amazing. It was fantastic.
Those were the good old days, my dear Carl.
The good old days, the good old days. And how's your golf game? Have you been playing any golf?
I haven't. You know, my father used to say, "Is business good?" And I always said, "Yes, it's good." Okay, so that means you're not playing enough golf. Definitely.
Well, I'm lucky enough. playing golf is like part of my
Yeah.
job description. And I'm not very good, but it's one of those great things. I do business on the golf course, you know, so I am blessed.
Some of us are lucky that way. You know, I'm working right now, Carl. I don't know
I
you.
know, yeah. You almost have as good a job as I do.
Yeah.
Almost. I can play golf and I can drink.
Yeah. You have a better job.
Let me share this. I think the people can see it on the screen. This is the white wine that we chose for the 20th anniversary. It's Montechanique Sauvignon Blanc, Viña Cristal 2018. Tell me a little bit more about this beautiful wine, Hans.
Okay, so when we go and talk about Sauvignon Blanc, I think that this is one of the icons of our whites in Montechanique, and I think that definitely they're among the best varieties in whites that develop in our terroirs in Mexico. I think that Sauvignon Blanc is just a blessing. You know, the plant expresses themselves very frankly. It's a very honest variety. If you treat it well, if you conduce it well, you're going to have very aromatic wines that will mature enough for them to express all that fruit in front of it. We have a lot of when you do a tasting, you can see that the wine is very translucent, is clean. It's just, you know, that perfect color of a very young white wine, which we want those sorts of colors, a very hay color. And when you go into the nose, you get, you know, that big punch of intensity of just this huge fragrancy of fruit, like a lot of peach. You get a lot of pear. You get a lot of green apples. So you have this big complex fruit in the first wave of the smell, and then, you know, at the very end, it's where it expresses that it's very authentic and it's very typical of that variety, where that herbal part of the Sauvignon Blanc just brings out, you know, its character. For me, that's the big punchline, because that's where I know that I've had a very successful production in the way of expressing this variety. It has to be fruit, it has to be, you know, the flowery scent, but at the end, you know, you have to have that very subtle herbal part to it, and it's very elegant. It doesn't have any sort of aging in barrel. It's very cool, right? And for me, the best part, obviously, is the mouth.
Perfect. And when you're in Punta Mita, where would you see yourself drinking this? On the beach, nice and cold? What would you eat this with? Would you sit at the Pacifico Beach Club after a round of golf, have a ceviche? What do you think it goes well with?
I have several moments I would like to take into that, but the first one is, and I remember I did this the first time that I went to Punta Mita with you guys, and I opened a bottle of this in the hole 3B.
Oh, there you go. That's very original. I didn't know that was allowed.
Well, I have friends in power, you know. But no, definitely for me that was a very special moment. It's just, you know, where you are and how you're enjoying the places where you are. And definitely another one is just exactly when you're finishing your 18 holes and you're going and you're joining your friends, you're joining your wife, and you're in the beach, and she has, you know, this glass of wine waiting for you, and you say, "Wow, yeah, this is why I'm here," you know.
Yeah, it's amazing. I drink a lot of red, but if there's one like a Sauvignon Blanc after a round of golf, on, you know, with a ceviche, just watching the ocean, the sand, you know, when our friends in common that come down for a weekend, that's basically what we do. We play golf, we eat, and we drink Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah,
maybe an odd rosé here and there. We didn't do a special rosé, but you have some great rosé as well. Very, very, very unique wines as well. You know what? One thing we've done is, I don't think you've been to those. We do like once a year, we do a barbecue, an asado argentino on the tail of the whale. And I think once we had your wines there, you weren't there, but we do like with a great lunch on the tail of the whale. And imagine just sitting there, 40 people watching the view. It's amazing.
Wow, I bet. No, definitely. You know, the rosé industry is doing really well. I think that's one of the future wines that you're going to see in our having a lot of success in our portfolio. So definitely, I think that's a big winner. And for me, obviously, the Sauvignon Blanc is for me a flagship. You know, it's one of those wines that that every year this wine will get to the consumer. It's going to be crisp. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be in a very high standard of quality. Just perfect, to enjoy the weather in Punta Mita, to enjoy some fresh oysters. Oh my God, I'm hungry.
Can't wait. I got to get you over there. I have to come and visit you again soon, Hans, and hope the family's doing well, I suppose. And anyway, I think it's great. I don't want to keep our friends on here for too long. We said we'd talk for about 20 minutes, enjoy these wines together. From Punta Mita, I'd like to thank you for always supporting Punta Mita, the events we have. I can promise you your wines are very well perceived here amongst the bespoken clients that we have in Punta Mita. And it's we're really proud to have you as a partner. And, we look forward to continue that partnerships in the year to come. And I hope everything goes well there in Valle de Guadalupe and Senada. And we hope to see you again sometime during the year, Hans.
Thank you, Carl. I always, when I go to Punta Mita, I always feel at home. You have great clients. You have a great service. You have one of the best places in the world there. For me, it's just an easy mix. And I don't know, every time that I go, it could be doing vacations or I can go working and just enjoying myself. And it's the same. I feel that I'm always in the right place at the right time, having a good time. I thank you for this time, and I hope to see you soon over there, and hope to see you soon over here also, so we can blend of our wines together.
Definitely, and we'd like to thank the people that have popped in and out today. I saw a lot of friends, some from Argentina, Mexico City, Ramon, some friends from the US that dropped in and dropped out. We raise our glasses. We hope you're all safe. And on my behalf and of Hans' behalf, we say a big Viva Punta Mita. Keep well, Hans. You too, mate. Take care, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Un abrazo.
Salud.
Ciao, ciao. Gracias.